Happy to see you after 1 year back, again as a speaker for today's conference, which brings us also opportunity to network after, so let's network each other. Let me simply start with the commercial sector. What is the commercial sector? So it's all type of the buildings for final use as a commerce. So it can be malls, it can be commercial centers, retail buildings, and of course it could be also restaurants, which is part of the commercial centers, and as well as parking lots. I will connect that with some practical solutions and project references later on. So going ahead with the global construction outlook in commercial, particularly from India. So you can see that in 2025, India's non-residential segment in general growth is roughly 7% annual, which is more or less stable. This stability means practical demand for commercial buildings, but also for offices and public buildings. Looking ahead to 2029, commercial segments estimated at the level of 3.5 CAGR, slower than infrastructure, which is simply visible. But less volatile, which means investor prefers. Over the long term, non-residential value rises from 200 billions in 2025 to 300 billions, which is 50% more in 2035. So percentage growth moderates, but also dollar invested keep climbing, which is also fund pipelines and capacity. Going ahead with the value drivers and limitations for commercial sectors in general, so we see that the benefits goes mainly with technical performances of the sandwich panels, which is fire resistance, safety compliance, as well as thermal and energy efficiency, where we can supply the sandwich panels with thermal resistance up to 9. Also, acoustic is very important. It was several times mentioned that structural lightness and architectural freedoms are also important, not only for residential, but also for commercial buildings. When it comes to the challenges, there are some which are very important for Indian market, which is regulatory compliance, complexity and approval, which goes with a multiple overlapping of the project on different levels, if it is national or state. Absence of standardization and certification process, which is also a task for a future situation when the conference will be created within the different market players when it comes to the production of the panels. Limited awareness and waste management, which goes ahead with the sustainability. I add some slides for solutions which could be easily developed and delivered for commercial buildings in general. So you have two types of the application. One is a sandwich panel standing alone as a structural element of the facade, or you have a carrier panels where the sandwich panel is part of the wall structure. So it means that you can get the thermal insulation, fire safety, and aesthetic part, while combining a sandwich panel with profiles or cassettes or different materials. Thinking of the carrier as engineered backbone, one system, predictable outcomes, multiple architectural finishes. The second point I would like to also highlight here is renovations. We need to do it smarter, which means fast and less disruptive for the business. Of course, with compliant with the standard. Sandwich panels are clean and smooth and really fast to install. So finally, you get the thermal upgrades for fire compliance. So you need to consider different aspects, which is going with the comfort of and well-being, use of the sandwich panel in the building, aesthetic parts, and also sustainable. Which type of the materials can be used from the recyclability point of view, end of life assessment, and so on. Here I add some references from the Europe, just to give you an idea how it is done in the Europe. So now it is reference from France when the Promisol panel is used in a black and brown color. The next slide speaks about the project in Slovenia, where you can see the combining the office with a commercial building. Also showing the solution with a green facade on the top right corner. As well, there is a project in Germany with IKEA when a sandwich panel has been delivered, mainly due to two technical performances. One was thermal performance, and the second one, which was considered, was also fire, which is also very important. The building in Spain, again sandwich panel in a cupra color. So variety of the panels, but here I would like to also highlight the fact that you see that there is no limitation for use of sandwich panel in a practice. Now I'm sharing some reference from Austria when the sandwich panel was used as a structural element of the facade for a mountain station. Microprofilation and solar panels included for a facade. Now moving ahead with the residential sector. So for the residential, here we speak mainly for single dwelling and multi-dwelling buildings. Multi-dwelling means multi-story buildings. So situation for residentials is more or less the same as for commercial. The total growth in 2025 is around 7%. 2024 remarkably stable comparing with other years. Through 2029, the structural runs at the CAGR of 6%. In value terms, we move from 400 billions in 2025 to 600 billions by 2035, which is again 50% more. Key takeaway, residential market is stable, volume engine, and a natural fit for standardized prefab solutions, which I will show you later. When it comes to the challenges, benefits for residential sector, more or less the same as for commercial one, but majorly running with energy efficiency, which is important, reduce energy by 20-30% by using HVAC. Speed of the construction, this is very important. Cost of the efficiency. Comfort and general thermal performance. Design and flexibility. Using compatible materials with modular, hybrid, and conventional solutions. When it comes to the challenges, thermal and environmental regulations, reducing the carbon footprint, fire safety compliance, short of skilled and specialized labor, and limited awareness in rural market about the sandwich panels in general. Here are some applications I've added from European perspective. when it comes to the modular solutions. In our company, we have developed two types of the systems, which is the curtain wall, modular solutions where sandwich panels are used, which is the faster installation and erection compared to standard materials like bricks and RCC, with a speed of more than 50%, high thermal performance. And also for the residential sector, you can use the balcony system, which is easy to install and lighter. Sorry. So when it comes to the performance, both solutions can have or can be done with a sandwich panel made of PUR, PAR, or mineral wool. Depends on the fire safety and thermal performance. We have certified solutions where the modularity goes with a 3-meter high maximum and 7-meter length. And of course, depends on the thickness of the panel used. Also, the performance differ within the system. What are the renovation trends in general in Europe? It's mainly linked with the extension of the buildings, going along with vertical and horizontal. So for such type of the application, you can use the lightweight solutions with the composite floors. You can develop more the fire resistance of the building, depends of the application. And of course, still can be used in the lightest floor solution for vertical and horizontal solution in general. What is also important to mention is environmental impact and performance. So such type of the systems can reach fire resistance up to 120 minutes or even 240 while using mineral wool sandwich panels. For the curtain wall in general, here is the case study we have developed for a European market. And I would like to highlight the fact when you compare the thermal performance of the structure itself, you can see on the image the brick wall, which 173 centimeters width of the wall has the same thermal performance as a 5 centimeter PIR panels. So these all have been translated, and the solution which are showing right now is linked with savings on the floor surface, which can go up to 4% compared to traditional solutions. And this study was done for residential 7 floors high of the building with declaring fire resistance REI 30, and of course following the standards, European standards. And here the situation, when it comes to the reality, the installation speed compare with the traditional concrete or bricks materials. So here you see that the one facade of the multi-story building have been renovated within the 8 days, which means that it was like 4 working days when the speed was 8.4 square meter per hour. In the end, it was 40% faster than normal construction, and the smaller modules around 7 square meters have been used. Some references from the Europe again. So here it is the residential buildings when the canopy or balcony system been used. You can see that underneath of the balcony that the mineral wool sandwich panel has been added as a fire protection for the facade in case of the fire spread within the building envelope. And here it is the residential sector, also fire-resistant panel have been used for a roof application. So that's all from my side for today. Thank you very much.